والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم صلاة وسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. When Sayyidina Amr ibn Umayyah radiallahu ta'ala an जब वो वापस आ रहे थे, I mentioned आमिर बिन तुफैल ने उसको छोड़ दिया, कहा कि मेरी माँ ने कसम उठाई है कि मैं एक गुलाम को आज़ाद करूँगी. तो वो जब ये शख्स वापस आ रहा था, after all of his companions had been killed, there were 70 in total, तो उसने आराम किया एक दरख्त के नीचे. He was resting. तो वो क्या देखता है, that close to him there are two individuals who are from that same tribe, Banu Amir. तो उसने तलवार उठाई, and because they were from that same tribe which had killed his companions, दोनों को कत्ल कर दिया. He killed both of them. अब वो जो माल वगैरह था, he gathered it together and he went to Madinatul Munawwara. When he entered into the city, he went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam और फरमाया कि या रसूलल्लाह, हम गए थे कुरान सिखाने के लिए, लेकिन ये लोगों ने धोखा दिया हमको. They deceived us and they attacked us. और सारे के सारे जो सहाबा है सब के सब शहीद हो गए हैं, सिर्फ मैं एक बचा. ऐसा हुआ. जब मैं वापस आ रहा था तो मैंने दो शख्स को देखे जो उस कबीले से थे, who were from that tribe. मैंने दोनों को कत्ल कर दिया. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very upset. He was very sad about the death of his companions. You can imagine, almost 70 of his companions were massacred. लेकिन फरमाया कि ये जो दो शख्स थे, these two people, we had a promise with them, we had a deal with them. Their blood was protected by the Muslims, और आपने इन दोनों को कत्ल कर दिया, and this is not a good thing. तो अब क्या हुआ, रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, he decided कि हमको फिदिया देना है. We need to give blood money for these two people. Now look at the justice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Almost 70 of his companions have been killed. He could be saying, I want blood money, but he is thinking, no, we have done some injustice. We have killed two people who were not meant to be killed. तो अब क्या करें? So I mentioned to you कि Madinatul Munawwara में यहूद के 3 कबीले थे. There was 3 Jewish tribes, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Nadīr and Banu Qurayza. Banu Qaynuqa, they had broken the treaty and they had been expelled from Madinatul Munawwara. So there was only 2 more which were remaining. Banu Nadīr and Banu Amir, they were friends. They were allies. तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने सोचा कि हम वहाँ जाते हैं, उनके साथ बात करते हैं और कहते हैं कि ये जो फिदिया है उसको पहचाना है. We needed to get it to the Banu Amir. Now जब रसूलुल्लाह, when he went to the Banu Nadīr, they welcomed him. They said, Ya Rasulullah, oh Abul Qasim, thank you for coming. And they started showing like lots of love and affection, and they presented food, so on and so forth. Now the issue was the Banu Nadīr, there had already been some issues with them from the start. उनका जो leader था वो था हुयई बिन अख्तब, और ये नाम आपने already सुना है. जब रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम मदीनतुल मुनव्वरा में तशरीफ लाए, when he came to Medina and he stopped in Quba, those 2 people came, them 2 Jewish brothers. One was Huyay bin Akhtab and one was Abu Yasir. They were sat in the majlis and they realized that this is the final messenger. जब वो वापस घर गए थे, they began to discuss. कहा कि वाकई वही है? They said, yes, he is that person. And they said, क्या करेंगे हम? कहा हम उनके साथ अदावत करेंगे, दुश्मनी करेंगे. How do we know this कि ऐसा हुआ था? Because the daughter of Huyay bin Akhtab, Sayyidah Safiya, उसने इस्लाम कबूल किया and she became married to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. तो फिर सारा जो है बताया कि this is what happened, my father came home, he was whispering, और ऐसा हुआ. So Huyay bin Akhtab, he was the leader. He had already sworn कि until I die, I will have dushmani, enmity, adawat with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. फिर एक दूसरा शख्स जिसका नाम था काब बिन अशरफ, वो बड़ा मालदार था. He was very, very wealthy. जो सारे जो the rabbis जो राहिब थे उनका जो wages है वो दिया करता था. He used to give them money, and he was a very good poet as well, sha'ir. So he had a lot of enmity with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. तो उसने क्या किया था, Uhud से पहले he went to Makkatul Mukarrama and he said to the Quraysh, उनको साथ में ले गया to the Kaaba, and he made them hold the khilaf of the Kaaba, और कहा कि कसम उठाओ कि आप जो है बदला लेंगे मुहम्मद से, you will take revenge from Muhammad. यानी ये ऐसा शख्स था. तो जब ये सारा when this was found out by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, तो Rasulullah ने फरमाया कि you have broken the treaty. He sent some companions and he was executed, this person. So there was already a few issues which were going on with the Banu Nadīr. Another thing, what happened, once Banu Nadīr ने क्या कहा कि ए मोहम्मद आप 30 आदमी को भेजिए, send 30 people and we will come with 30 people और हम मुनाजरा करेंगे. If you convince us, then what will we do? हम क्या करेंगे? हम सब जो है इस्लाम कबूल करेंगे. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went with 29 of his companions. And when they got to the Maidan, in reality, Banu Nadīr ka kya niyat thi? That we will fight them and we will kill all of them. But what happened, jab wo gaye and they saw these companions, to wo dar gaye. They thought, these people, they're not going to let us go easily. So they said, oh, there's too many people, there's 60 people, hum kaise munazara karenge? Come with 3 people next time. There's too many people, come with 3 people next time. So Rasulullah went, and after some time, Rasulullah set out with 3 companions now, him and 2 companions. And as he was going, he received a message, because Banu Nadīr mein se, one of the people, they had accepted Islam. So his sister sent a message, do not come. These people are planning an ambush. So Rasulullah, when he received this message, he turned and he went back home. So then there was already stuff going on with these people. They were very treacherous from the very start. Ab logon ne kya kaha, when Rasulullah said, listen, I need help in delivering the fidya to the Banu Amir, kaha ke, come, welcome, welcome. And they made him sit next to a house. And he घर के बिल्कुल करीब बिठाया. फिर वो चले गए. और हुयई बिन अख्तब ने क्या कहा? He said, अब हमारा मौका है. अब हमारा chance है. If we want to kill Muhammad, ma'azallah, astaghfirullah, now is our chance. He's only with a few people, because Rasulullah had come with 9 companions, in Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Zubair, Talha, Sa'd bin Ubadah, Sa'd bin Mu'az, and Usayd bin Hudayr. 9 companions. There's only 10 of them. And we have all of our people. This is the time now to do what we need to do. तो एक शख्स को तैयार किया, and his name was Amr bin Jahash. कहा कि हम क्या करेंगे? We will get a massive stone. We will go to the roof, छत पर चढ़ेंगे, and ma'azallah, we will throw the stone onto the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. तो वो तैयार हो गया. He got the stone and he started preparing himself. इतने में एक शख्स आया who was intelligent. He came to Huyay bin Akhtab. His name was, I believe, Sallam bin Mishqam. He said, ये क्या कर रहे हो? What are you doing? We have a pact with them. We have peace treaty with them. You know he is going to find out, and when he finds out, you know what the consequences are going to be. If they will fight against us, if they will destroy all of us, they will take our women and children as captives. What are you doing? What are you thinking? In the meantime, when this whole discussion was happening, Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam came and he told Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, ye log ki ye niyat hai. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ut gaye, he said like some intention, and he left from that place. And he went back to Madinatul Munawwara. Sahaba kiram wo intizar karte rahe, and then later they saw a man coming from the distance. Ek shakhs aa raha tha. तो जो यहूद थे उन्होंने सोचा कि शायद this is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But what do they see? It's another person, is a Jewish man. तो वो आता है और सब लोग छत की तरफ देख रहे हैं. So he goes, what are you guys doing? Why are you all looking towards the roof? कहा, we waiting for Muhammad. He said, I saw him in Madinatul Munawwara. What are you guys playing at? What are you doing? तो अब मालूम हो गया that our plan is up. Sahaba ने इंतजार किया. When they saw that Rasulullah wasn't coming back, मालूम हो गया कि कुछ काम होगा, तो वो भी उठे और चलने लगे. So he quickly comes and he tries to, we were going to come, लेकिन Abu al-Qasim, the kunya of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, He went, wo chale gaye, hum to wo sab karne wale the, ye kya hua, like this. But by then it was too late. It was too late. जब सहाबा वापस मदीने में आया, कहा या रसूलल्लाह आप कहाँ चले गए? Where did you go? तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने सब कुछ बताया कि this was their plan, this is what they were going to do. Right? So at that point, the person who warned Huyay, he said to them, okay, look, do you know how I know that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew? They said, how did you know? कहा कि आप सब लोग को मालूम है कि वो नबी है. You know he is Nabi Akhiruz Zaman. You know he is the one who is mentioned in the Torah. You know that Jibreel is the one who has informed him. You know all of this. Why are you playing stupid? Right? And you might be thinking that, why, if they knew all of this, then why wouldn't they accept Islam? Remember, Quran mein bhi likha hai, the Banu Israel, they never killed one or two prophets. Ek do nabi ko nahi karte. They killed hundreds and hundreds of prophets. It's mentioned, you can look in the tafasir. This is why Allah punished them numerous times. On one day they killed, is mentioned, hundreds of prophets in one day. The next day, all of the muballighin, they killed thousands of them. So they always used to have enmity with the prophets alayhimu salatu wa taslim. Right? So this person, he said, ab jo meri jo advice hai, aap ghaur se sune. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's going to give you a chance. वो कहेंगे कि आप मदीना को छोड़ दो. Leave from Madinatul Munawwara. This is going to be his rahmah, his mercy. जब हमको ये इख्तियार दे, हमको ये option दे, when he gives us this, do not get arrogant, don't be big-headed. When he gives you this chance, take it and leave from Madinatul Munawwara. Otherwise, it's going to be very problematic for us. That is one option. The second option is that you become a Muslim and you accept him as the final prophet. So Huyay ne kaha ki theek hai. When that option comes, then that's what we'll do. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent a man called Muhammad bin Maslama with a message. He had the letter and he went to the Banu Nadīr. Aur un logo ke saaf मालूम था what was going to happen. He goes, before I give you this letter, let me just tell you one thing and let me ask you one question. And take qasam on the Torah. Take qasam on your holy book and tell me, I came to you people. This was the companion Sahabi Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I came to you and I was very hungry one day. And you people said to me, हम आपको खाना भी देंगे और जो हमारा मज़हब है उनके बारे में आपको सिखाएंगे. We will teach you about our religion so you can accept. तो मैंने क्या कहा था? I said to you, I will take the food, but I will not accept the religion. तो फिर तुम लोगों ने कहा कि you are following Abu Amir al-Rahib, the one who was al-Fasiq, the father of Sayyidina Hanzala. लेकिन ये दीन हनीफ पर नहीं है. The person who is going to be on deen Hanif, he is going to come from the direction of Yemen. Yani Makkatul Mukarramah is in the direction of Yemen, in reference to Madinatul Munawwara. And you described him that he would have redness in his eyes, he would always be smiling, he would be excellent in war strategy. You told me all of these things. Ab qasam utha ke batao, did you not say this? Yes, we said this. Now tell me, is this person not the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Or phir gaye. Again they turned and they said, no, this, like this. I'm happy with what you have said. You said these signs, all of these signs which you said, they are in our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Phir unko khat diya. When they opened it, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ne kaha ki you have 10 days. You can take everything, whatever you want to take, you can take it. You can even come back and take your, jo sabzi hai waghaira, the crops, your harvest, you can even take that. But you have 10 days to leave from Madinatul Munawwara. This was your plan. This is what you discussed. He told them in exact detail, exactly what they were planning on doing. They realized that ab jo hai sab khatam ho chuka hai, we have no chance, no opportunity. So unhone maan liya and they began to prepare to leave from Madinatul Munawwara. Lekin Abdullah bin Ubay, Ra'isul Munafiqeen, the head of the hypocrites, उसने क्या किया? उसने एक message, he sent a letter. He said, what are you guys doing? Do not leave. मैं अभी आ रहा हूँ. I have 2,000 people with me. I will come to your support and I will send a message to the Ghatafan. This was a tribe outside of Madinatul Munawwara. They were, in modern terms, you can call them mercenaries, some of the subgroups. You would give them money, they would fight on their behalf, right? I will send a message to the Ghatafan. We will come to your support. Don't go anywhere. We're with you. We will support you. So then what happened? Huyay bin Akhtab, he thought, ye to acha hai. We don't have to even go anywhere. Again, the people, those two people, they came to Huyay, they said, what are you doing? We've got such a perfect opportunity. This Abdullah bin Ubay, he's not going to help you. He's always been like this. He is not a Jew, he is not a Muslim, he is neither of them. He promised the Banu Qaynuqa he would help them, he didn't help them. And now he's promising you support, he's not going to help you. Don't listen to him, this is silly. Lekin ye jo Huyay tha, he was very arrogant. Yes? He had a lot of pride. And so what did he say? He said, no, they promised us support, they're going to come. So uska jo bhai hai, usko bulaya, whose name was Ibn Akhtab as well. And when his brother came, Juday bin Akhtab, he said to him, go to Muhammad and say to him, we are not going anywhere. Hum kahin bhi nahi jaane wale hain. We are staying in Madinatul Munawwara. And then go to Abdullah bin Ubay and tell him what the situation is. To wo aaya, Rasulullah sahaba ke saath baithe hue the, he sat and he said that my brother Huyay, this is what he has said. So Rasulullah ne farmaya, Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. और आपको साफ मालूम है that you have declared war against the Muslims. तो वो चला and he went to Abdullah bin Ubay. When he went to the house of Abdullah bin Ubay, who was the leader of the Munafiqs, he was about to start talking, but then he got cut off. Rasulullah was calling people for jihad. Then he tried for a second time and the door opened. When the door opened, who walked inside? It was the son of this person. His name was Abdullah bin Ubay. Uska jo ladka tha, wo andar aaya. Why did he come inside? To get his sword. Because although his father was a munafiq, wo pakka Musalman tha. He was a true Muslim. So he got his sword in order to go and stand with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. अब वो सोचता है जुदै बिन अख्तब कि ये कह रहा है कि वो हमारी सपोर्ट करेगा, मदद करेगा, लेकिन उसका जो बेटा है, his own son is going to stand with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, वो क्या मदद करेगा? How is going to help us? So he's told him, Abdullah goes, okay, I will send a message, and then he left from that place. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gathered his army, he gathered the companions, and he went in the direction of Banu Nadīr. They were in Madinatul Munawwara, just on the outside of Medina. When they got close, the Jewish people, they began to throw stones and they began to fire arrows. So the companions, they fired arrows back and they sealed themselves, unke jo fortress hai, unke jo gar hai, they sealed themselves inside there. And Rasulullah surrounded them. And this is how the siege started. They waited till the evening, night time. Rasulullah went back. He left Sayyidina Abu Bakr in charge. The next day he came. Whilst Rasulullah was inside his tent, he was waiting, and what happened? One of them fired an arrow and it came into the tent of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but no one got hurt. So like even in this time, all of this was going on. They sieged the place, but they were still firing arrows at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A few days passed. One day, the companions, they were looking for Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala. Kaha, Ya Rasulullah, hum Sayyidina Ali ke liye talash rahe hain, lekin wo mil nahi rahe. Why? Where is he gone? So Rasulullah said, do not worry, ab ghabrana mat. He has gone on a specific task. I have sent him for a job. What had happened? This person who had fired the arrow, whose name was Azwaq, him and his companions, a few of them, every night they used to go outside and they were plotting against the Muslims, how to attack the Muslims. So Sayyidina Ali, he hid, and Sayyidina Ali was like a ninja. He hid and he waited for him to come. Jab wo nikla, usko qatl kar diya, he killed him. And then Rasulullah sent a few other companions, Abu Dujana and another one, and they killed the remaining of them. So now they had no plan, they had no way of attacking the Muslims. But even despite all of this, the Jews, they were not giving up. They had locked themselves in their fortress and they were not willing to come out. So Rasulullah decided to put a bit of pressure on them. So what he decided to do was to cut the trees down that belonged to the Yahud, to the Banu Nadīr, for two reasons. Number one, so they can't hide behind the trees and attack the Muslims. And the second reason was, this was like economical warfare. They loved their property. So if they see that they're being cut down, then they will get scared. And so this is exactly what happened. When Rasulullah sent the companions and they started cutting the trees down, then the Banu Nadīr, they gave up. Now generally, Rasulullah would never allow this to happen. He's given specific commands that when Muslims go for jihad, they shouldn't cut trees down. Right? But Rasulullah had to do this in this specific occasion, just to put pressure on the Jewish people. When they saw that the trees were coming down, women, they started tearing their clothes, they started rolling around on the floor, all of our hard works, because the ajwa date tree, it takes many, many years for the fruit to come. In some books, it mentions 30 years before the fruit comes. You understand? So he's putting pressure on them. The Banu Nadīr said, the first agreement we accept. Rasulullah said, no. That agreement is finished now. What the person had warned, he said, that is finished. Now we will let you leave, but you can't take everything. Whatever fits onto your camels, you can take that. Or jo hatiyar hai, talwar, baghaira, neza, you have to leave all of that behind. You leave your swords and stuff behind. Whatever you can fit onto your camels, you can take only that much. So again, he started kicking off. And he goes, what's this? No, we're not going to listen. Again, unko samjhaya. Look, you're being silly. If we keep doing this, Rasulullah has been so merciful to us. If he wanted right now, he could come inside and he could kill all of us. And he could take all of our property. He could take all of our women and children as slaves. He is being so merciful. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Listen to what he's saying. Still, he didn't listen. After 2 days, eventually he gave up. He said, that's fine. They gathered all of their property as much as they could. And there were hundreds and hundreds of camels. And they took all of their property out of Madinatul Munawwara. This was the mercy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whatever was remaining, their houses and stuff, they burnt them to the ground. Yes? And they gave their weapons to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu gathered all of the companions. And he said to the Ansar, "Oh my Ansar, you know the Muhajirs, you know their situation. They left everything behind. Now this which we have collected, this is not male ghanimat, because there was no proper fighting. This is called fay. So I want you to give this property to the Muhajirun." The Ansar, they became upset. They said, "Ya Rasulullah, have we done something wrong? Did we do something wrong?" Rasulullah, it's nothing like this. But your Muhajir brothers, they are very embarrassed to ask from you. Unko sharam aati hai ki they have to live in your house. They have to ask for your property. So the Ansar said, "Ya Rasulullah, in that case, we are happy to give whatever, but do not break this bond of brotherhood between us. And you have made us brothers, and we want to stay as brothers, and we will continue to support our Muhajir brothers." This was the sacrifice of the Ansar. This is the love they had for them. Right? And this is how the Banu Nadīr, this came to an end. The Banu Nadīr, they were expelled from Madinatul Munawwara. The property which was gathered and the area, the land, was given to the Muhajirun. Now, if you remember, in the Battle of Uhud, what did Abu Sufyan say at the end? We will meet 1 year later, right? So the time was coming close where the Muslims had to meet in Badr. The issue was, in Makkatul Mukarramah, there was no rain. Koi barish hi nahi thi. So the people, they were struggling and they were suffering. Ab kya kare? So Abu Sufyan ne ek plan banaya, which was 2 parts. The first thing he did is he called a person whose name was Nu'aym. And he said to him, "Come, I promise to give you 20 camels. Lekin mere liye kaam karna hai. Kya karna hai? You need to go to Madinatul Munawwara. Aur jab tu jayega to kya kahega? Ki Abu Sufyan has a big army. Bada fauj ko taiyar kiya hai. Thousands and thousands of people with arms and weapons and everything. And he's coming towards Badr. And this is what you're going to do. If you stop them from coming out from Madinatul Munawwara, I will give you 20 camels." And he even gave him 1 camel free of charge. He goes, "You can take this one. This is my down payment." So he went and he started doing that. And he goes, "What will we do? Hum kya karenge? Hum fauj ko taiyar karenge. And we will come out of Makkatul Mukarramah. Agar wo log nahi nikle to hamare liye to kamyabi hai. We have been victorious. We can say, look, they didn't come out, we came out. And if they do come out, to hum kahenge ki, it was difficult this year, so we're coming back, we're not fighting this year." So this is what they did. 2,000 people, they came out of Makkatul Mukarramah with 50 horses, marching towards Badr. And on the other side, Nu'aym, he is going to everyone saying, Abu Sufyan, he has such a big army. If you go out, he's going to kill all of you. Do not go from this place. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala and Sayyidina Umar, they went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, "Ya Rasulullah, we have a promise with the kuffar. Humne wada kiya hai ki hum aayenge." Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ne kaha ki agar main akela bhi gaya, even if I go by myself, I will go by myself, I will not break my promise. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left from Madinatul Munawwara with 1,500 companions, 1,500 companions. They had 10 horses. When they got to Badr, what do they see? There's no one there. No one has come. Abu Sufyan, he went for 2 days and he realized that every step he was taking, he was getting more and more scared. He goes, we are going for suicide here. So he said to the people, look, there's been no rain, we have no food, we have nothing, let us go back to Makkah al-Mukarramah, there's no point fighting. So before the Muslims had even come out, they were so scared, they went back to Makkah al-Mukarramah. The Muslims, they knew that these people, they're not going to come out, they're cowards. So they had brought a lot of tijarat, business goods. You know, tijarat ka jo saman hai, wo lekar aaye, and they did business in that area. Sayyidina Usman radiallahu ta'ala, and he made 100% profit. For every dinar he had, he made another dinar. So he had made loads and loads of money trading. Whilst they were in this place near Badr, a person called Mahshi bin Amr, he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. और कहा कि आप लोग, why are you here? तो Rasulullah ने बताया, we came to deal with the Quraysh, they had made a promise. कहा कि, you know the propaganda that they've been saying. They've been saying that the Muslims are halak, they've been destroyed. We finished them in Uhud. But I see here and there's so many of your followers. We thought you would be like this and you would be like this. So Rasulullah taught us a very important lesson. You know, people who are arrogant, you don't show them humility. So Rasulullah ne kya jawab diya? Kaha, if we are weak and we have no strength, then the peace agreement that we have, break it. Usko tod do. You know, we have nothing, we are nothing. So then the person, he was like, no, nothing like that. You know, I can see all of the strength that you have. Rather, we will never go against you. We have seen the strength you have. So this is how that second Badr, it came to an end. I'm going to mention 1 or 2 more points, inshaAllah tabarak wa ta'ala, and then I'm going to bring my discussion to an end. There was a companion whose name was Julaybib. He came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day, and he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam a question. Ek swal pucha. But this question, you can imagine the reaction of the Sahaba. क्या कहा? कहा या रसूल मुझको इजाजत दो. कहा किसके लिए? कहा मुझको जिना करना है. I want to commit adultery. तो Sahaba खड़े हो गए. कहा कि what type of nonsense is this? What you're saying? But I want you to pay attention here. Look at the way Rasulullah dealt with this. हम क्या करते? And look how Rasulullah dealt with this situation. कहा I want to do zina. So Rasulullah ne usko kareeb bulaya. He said to the companions, calm down, let me just speak to him. And he said to him, oh my companion, listen. If a person wanted to do this with your daughter, what would you think? He goes, I would never want someone to do something like this with my daughter. You know, I follow upon your path. This is, you know, I would never want someone to do something like this with my daughter. You know, this is unimaginable. So he goes, in the same way that you would not want someone to do this with your daughter, why would you do this to somebody else's daughter? And then he started feeling a bit of shame. Then he said to him, okay, listen. What if someone was to do something like this with your mother? He goes, no, I would not want anyone to do this. So he goes, in the same way, why would you do this with somebody's mother? And he started feeling even more shame and even more sadness. And he started realizing, you know, this action that he's doing, what he was asking Rasulullah. And like this, he started, what about if it was your auntie and so on and so forth like this. Eventually, the person, he was really, really upset and he did tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, you're right, Ya Rasulullah. So what was I even thinking? Why would I do this? If I would not want someone to do this with my family, why should I do it with somebody else's family? It's mentioned after this, Julaybib, he became one of the most chaste and honest people in Madinatul Munawwara. Look at the way Rasulullah was teaching. After this, Rasulullah went to one of the Ansari companions and he said, oh my companion, I want your daughter's hand in marriage. And they became very happy. They said, Ya Rasulullah, of course, you know, to have you in our family would be very, very good. Rasulullah said, no, not for me, for Julaybib, for my companion. I want your daughter's hand in marriage for this person. So they said, okay, 1 second, let us discuss and then we will come back to you. So the man, he went back home, he spoke to his wife. Said, you know, Rasulullah wants the daughter's hand in marriage. She said, oh, this is very good, but not for Rasulullah, for this person. And she became very upset. Why would we accept the hand in marriage of this person? We have rejected this person. Isko inkar kiya hai, isko inkar kiya hai. Why would we accept this type of person? So he was going to go back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he heard his daughter from the other room. And she said, Have you not read the verse in the Quran? Ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul. Allah और उसके रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जब हुक्म दे, then we should follow. If Rasulullah सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम has chosen the partner, then why are you refusing? Yani he knows what is best for us. And if he has chosen him as my husband, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let anything bad happen to me. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then he performed the nikah ceremony between these two people. And this is how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught an important lesson to his companion. Okay. I was going to mention a few more points, but inshallah ta'ala I will bring the discussion to an end here. And tomorrow inshallah I'll mention the incident of Dhatul Riqah and Dumatul Jadal inshallah ta'ala, as well as Banu Mustalik. And that will possibly, maybe, it might be our last lesson inshallah ta'ala. We end here. Wasallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqihi wa nuri arshi Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmeen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman wa Rahim, forgive us for all of our major and minor sins. Ya Allah, give us all the ability to act in accordance with the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Allah, protect us all from haram actions. Give us the ability to do an abundance of good deeds. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, give us the ability to act according to the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqihi wa nuri arshi Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.